All right. If you were paying attention, you noticed that we named two of our routes the same thing. So this is why the router is now complaining here on the console, and we're going to fix that. So we're going to go ahead and open up main client where our routes are defined. I'm going to hide that, and we're going to change the name from home to about. Okay. Let's refresh the page, and the error should be gone. Awesome. Okay. And I also noticed, let me bring in the problems tab here in the app.vue file. And we had a few. All right, so we can talk about now user authentication for your Meteor application. What you can do is use an already existing package that is built specifically for Meteor, which will allow you to either let your users register via an email and password, or use a third party like, I don't know, Twitter, GitHub, Google, etc. What we're going to do right now is start with the email and password registration, and then after that we can try and see if we can get one of those third party going. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the packages file. Remember, this is under the .meteor folder. So we're going to do accounts password. Okay. And since I'm running the application already, you'll notice that it will start adding all the dependencies over here, all the dependencies that accounts password has. So it depends, as you can tell, on account space, and this means that you can actually just run with the very minimum infrastructure for your authentication logic, and you could probably build everything on top of that, or you can use something that is already been worked on, which is accounts password. All right, awesome. So I'm going to refresh the page here. Actually going to bring it full screen. All right, the console has been cleared, and we can now try and see what the accounts object has inside. Right, so this is available now to the client because we installed the package, and you can tell that it has a lot of different methods and properties. We are actually going to use one to register a user. But before we do that, I wanted to show you here on one of the Meteor dev tools that we have a couple more collections to handle. So we first have this Meteor accounts login service configuration, and as you can probably imagine, this is the one that you would work with to change the behavior of your package. But there's also this users collection, which, well, as you can tell, are all the users that can log in to your app. All right, so what we're going to do now is create a user, and we do that by using the accounts dot, you guessed that, create user command, or create user call to that method. I actually already did that before in another application, so I'm going to just reuse that. And what you can tell here is you can pass in an object which has three key properties, which are username, email, and password. Okay, so the package will make sure that this password is protected and that you're not storing the raw string with the password and things. But let's go ahead and see what happens when I hit enter. Okay, we get back undefined, and let's go back to the collections and see what is in there. All right, so you can tell now that this created another entry on the user's collection with its own ID, the username that we provided, as well as an emails array. So any user can have not only one, but multiple addresses associated to them, and this is reflected in here. You can already see that the user can be actually verified in your application. So there's a lot of things that you can leverage from these packages that are already available to you in Meteor, and this is one of the reasons why it's very, very attractive and appealing to work with this, because most of it is very frictionless when you are implementing it.